Hey everyone, this is my reaction to the 9th episode of Jahy-sama wa Kujikenai. I may have forgotten her name for a second, but I remembered in the end. And last episode, we actually had a lot of Druge who I'd been wanting more of, so I was pretty happy with last episode. And we also got some great sister group bath time, because, I mean, Jahy didn't even know that was a thing, right? She was making do with the, pan that she soaks in, and then she like a whole new world opened up to her to the public bathhouse, a place you can go and bathe properly, even if the place you live doesn't have a proper bath. It's kind of a mind blowing concept, at least for Jahy. And she had a lot of fun there, I would say, as well as a lot of fun with Druge in the episode because she got to go to her company and got to see all that cool stuff and got to enjoy the party. And I mean, I think we all enjoyed that party. So we're jumping into this episode, and hopefully we can get into some good stuff. We might get the magical girl. It feels like she's taking a bit of a backseat lately, so maybe she'll come back up. I don't know. There's definitely some stuff we got to resolve with that character for sure. So, it's coming at some point, but we'll see if it's this episode. But, yeah. 3, 2, 1, play. Okay, I mean, there's that character too, I guess. Magnificent. So, you just kind of always been in the background, huh? Welcome to life, I guess. Well, maybe she also learned about this new concept. Although she's going alone, which is a bit sadder. But she looks like she's glad to be there, so I suppose that's all good. Not everyone can go to the bath with two beautiful sisters, as sad as that is. It's just not a privilege everyone has. I like how the dog is like right next to her in that shot of the opening, kind of implying the dog is of equal importance to her. That little punching she does at the very end there, it really completes the opening. Okay. Let's see, Sarva can't catch a break. So, are things gonna go poorly here? I don't know how things can go wrong here unless you slip on a bar of soap, I guess. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay, apparently Jahy's already here. A good chance of Bond, I suppose. So I guess it does take place at the same time as the previous episode's bath session. I guess you just didn't see her. I guess that's the implication. If that's the case, it means she was literally just never noticed. Jahy literally did nothing wrong here. So he must stay stealthy. Can't afford to be spotted. I'm sure you can do it. I have faith in you. I bet you're right. I feel like that's just... Something's gonna go wrong in regards to the shampoo. Maybe she'll spill it, or drop it, or swallow it. I'll just take all this, don't mind me. How dare you? At least her eyes are closed so she doesn't see you. It's amazing how she can just like ruin her whole day without even trying to. Well, yeah, I mean, it's good stuff. And she doesn't quite get it, so... Okay, see, now she's kind of doing something wrong, but still not intentionally. Somebody took my shampoo! The nerve of some people. Like, that's at least half gone. I think more than half. Well, there's still some left. It should be fine. Yeah, I don't see this ending well. And you knew it was coming eventually. Hey, maybe it's not so bad after all. You say things never work out for you. I'm okay now. Yes, people really should be more careful. Someone could really hurt themselves. It's crazy that we just never noticed her in the previous episode. I mean, that was the idea, but... Well... I think she enjoyed that fall. She's aggressively blowing her face in the background. And technically, Jahy never spotted her, so it's kind of a win in that regard. So, yeah, I'd say overall it did not go too bad. I mean, some of her shampoo got used, but aside from that, it really wasn't bad at all. I was expecting much worse. And she does not look too bothered. Sounds like attention. I bet you want to work at a certain establishment now, don't you? I can't guarantee she'll be there next time, but maybe. Yeah, that's what I thought. Is Jahy in a good mood now? I noticed. Can't look too giddy in front of these slowly humans. The best day. Literally shivering. If you say so. Got something more important to buy? You just... Okay, I guess it's worth a shot. I'm not sure what weapon you have in mind, but maybe they have it. It's adorable. Like a child going on an errand for her parent. Oh no, real life infomercial. That's the worst. Only 1,000 yen. Truly, that's a bargain. I was half joking, but this is totally an infomercial. Are you gonna waste your money on one? Hey, we got a Sugoi sponge. I can already see the trend. Okay. She's gonna spend all her money on stupid stuff she doesn't need. Have no weapon for the Maho Shoujo. I already know the pattern, Jahy. You're not gonna fool me. Naturally. Just don't put it on pizza and I'll forgive you. What will be our next great find? Okay, that's definitely not important at all. Is she really gonna buy it? Don't believe everything you see in advertisements, Jahy-sama. That's like Human World 101. Don't do it. That is debatable. It's like shopping at Walmart. You come out with so many things you don't need and forget to buy what you can't afford in the first place. She's so happy. I don't have the heart to tell her that she's making so many mistakes. Do they have a weapons section? Is that girl naked on the picture? Our amusement, really. Oh, God. But again, she looks so happy. This really is life lessons, the anime. I mean, kind of a weapon. I mean, if you swing it hard enough, maybe it'll tickle her. Do they have any Oni clubs here? Maybe in the back somewhere? What did you spot? Is that lightsaber? I mean, it's totally the sound effect. I'm sure you'll hit her eventually. She looks so damn evil, which makes sense, it's her imagination. Are you just breaking stuff? So now we just do that to Kyoko and it'll be great. Excellent rehearsal. Well, yeah, but you can still hit people with it. The realization hurts, doesn't it? Hardcore buyer's remorse. I think we've all been there. Like, why did I buy this $300 figure that just sits on the shelf behind me? I could have paid rent with that. Like, you know, we've all been there, right? Yes, it's, you know, we thought about you when we bought it. Please enjoy it. At least somebody is. Is that a plunger sound effect, or... What are we doing? A trap, I guess? Is that like sticky glue kind of thing? Okay. I think I've seen similar things before. In certain games and stuff. Always have to take into consideration that monstrous strength. There's no guarantees when dealing with that behemoth. Also a fair point. She might even come from the floor. You're just not going to be able to get back out of here, are you? Not the water. A good old gong dong and she'll be defeated. That is not what I would describe you as, but I like the confidence. But as always, I'm kind of waiting for the disappointment, the sadness that you know follows the confidence. I'm sure Kyoko will be around any minute now. Maybe she's just running late. Does she even have her contact information? Like maybe she wanted to text us letting us know, but she couldn't. Can you even leave? Because I feel like you, I feel like you can't leave. Because all the entrances, they kind of double as all the exits, so clearly we need to like dig a tunnel out, like a secret exit. That's the best course of action. As a strategist, I'm sure she knows that. I live for these moments. How is she gonna get out of this one? Like, landlady, please come over real quick. I would like to move into a different apartment. There's an empty one, right? Okay, wow, she must have heard me. Watch your step. This is probably going to result in a rent raise, I imagine. Oh no. Watch out above you. A hug? I mean, that works. Ooh. Well, at least we saved our rent hike. She must be so confused. She suddenly just hugs her and then gets unconscious. It was a trap for a magical girl. You shut up before she could. Don't question it too much. It was a nice moment, sort of. That's a good point. You should usually talk to your landlord before these kind of modifications. I read that as tennis at first and was a little bit confused. That's kind of irrelevant. She definitely does protect you. She definitely has. Hire some more, like, you know, people to wander around. Guards was the word I was looking for. Please do. Just full of scary existences in this show. Okay, don't need to go that far. At least she has a nicer looking apartment than Jahy, for whatever that's worth. Actually, a pretty nice looking environment there. A lot of detail. It's a good point. She's like 3 feet tall. I really disagree on that, but I know the Jahy you know is a little bit different than the Jahy I know. Give me back my melon pun. Yeah, I'm sure it's not actually her, just coincidence. Well endowed, I wouldn't go that far, but she's like the perfect size, I would say. When she says well endowed, I think of Tencho, you know. Hey, child, I would like to help you. You know, if a random kid referred to me as Kisama, I wouldn't help her. You have no idea. No, my food. Well, they jumped on that. No need to twist their arm. I really wanted it to be Melon Pond. It would have made it so perfect, but oh well. She tried to help and she just cost her lunch. How are you gonna take responsibility for that? Okay, I guess salmon onigiri works. No, no melon pan though. She's gotta be to not give up. How do I be like you, Jahy-sama? I feel like there's just so many levels of comedy to this concept. Anyone knows how difficult, how much of a struggle life is? An encouraging speech from her enemy. Those eyes. You have to have faith in them. I gotta context this wouldn't be a funny scene, but because of the circumstances, it's just hilarious. That's almost a title drop of another anime movie. Don't you feel so much more encouraged now? Saruwa wa Kujikenai. Guess not the worst nickname to have. I'm sure. So, Sadaba, aren't you gonna get in there? Sure, who's boss? Weren't you gonna do that? Yeah, table 2, like... Well, maybe another day, when they're less busy. Well, I mean, progress has been made. I mean, maybe you'll take a couple steps inside next time. Oh, it almost gives me Bochi flashbacks. I wonder if we'll have a stinger. We do not have a whole lot of time left, so maybe not. In the end, we did not get any of the magical girl this episode, but she technically was relevant to the episode because her existence dictated the actions that Jahy took this episode. Yeah, there's really not enough time for a singer, so... Magical Girl will not lose. Okay, so next episode will be Magical Girl focused. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. So, that was the 9th episode of Jahy-sama wa Kujikenai. And yeah, we actually had quite a bit of Saruba in this in this episode, right? Because, yeah, apparently last episode when they had their bath scene, Saraba was there too. She was not spotted because that was kind of the point. She did not want to be seen, discovered by her enemy Jahy-sama, because who knows what could happen. She could attack her, and she of course had her allies there, the two sisters, so understandable that Saraba would not want to have that unleashed on her. Also, she just wanted to enjoy her bath, so that was a big part of it too. She even brought this special shampoo and stuff. I almost kind of want to go and rewatch the previous episode because I do kind of remember Jahy, doing the shampoo and not thinking too much about it. She was just like, yay, I mean, it's free stuff. And now I know, like, it wasn't free. That was somebody else's stuff you were using. But she didn't know that. So it's kind of funny that we were able to have kind of shifted perspective in some regards because of this episode. Right. But again, Jahy didn't know she was doing anything wrong there. And it's not like Saraba spoke up or anything. So, because that would reveal her existence. So she was put in such an awful position there where she either has to sit back and let Jahy use her shampoo or reveal her presence. So that was pretty bad for her. But she did not use all of it. And also, she had a bit of a tumble. It was kind of funny because she slipped on the soap, which was my prediction. To be fair, that wasn't exactly a big brain prediction or anything. Not exactly 200 IQ, but still, I feel a little bit proud of myself for predicting it nonetheless. And luckily for her, she did not, slam her head against the ground, which would have hurt a lot. Like, that's not soft ground, so that would have been pretty bad. So luckily for her, Tensho was there, and she got to just land in Tensho pillows, and that kind of one little aspect of that fall transformed the fall into a horrible, painful experience to possibly the best thing that's ever happened to her in her entire life. I kind of got that impression. I don't know what the impression you got was, but that's how I felt. Like, just the fact that she was in such a daze throughout the rest of the day, pretty much, it was very telling about what a wonderful, just top tier level life experience that was, which makes sense. I mean, with this character, we've been kind of really been told it's been really they've done their best to get across the idea that she lives kind of a miserable life. Nothing really works out. She keeps trying to best Jahy-sama, but it never works out, right? So I guess if your life is full of failures, anything positive, good, pleasant that happens, it probably has a much more boosted positive effect on you, right? So I suppose it makes sense on that basis, but yeah, I really did not expect that because, again, yeah, they made it seem like it could be such a horrible experience, and really it wasn't. Like, she had maybe 70% of her shampoo taken, which is not great, but it's not the end of the world. Like, there was still enough for her for that trip at least, and she got to fall into a nice cushion, which she was clearly very, very happy about. So I can't really call that a bad trip. And even at the end of the scene, the narrator said it was an enjoyable experience. So interesting kind of, would you call that subversion of expectations? When the show has said it, I guess so. But yeah, I'm glad she had some positivity in the episode. And then we had Jahy shopping, right? So she gets her payday, and she is naturally pretty excited about that. I mean, who wouldn't be, especially when you're poor? Payday is especially a good thing. For people who don't live paycheck to paycheck, it's probably not that big of a deal. But when you do, it is a big deal. Definitely. And but you also know how quickly a paycheck can just disappear if we're not careful. And Jahy-sama over here, who's not very used to the human world, she still hasn't developed a lot of the necessary skills and, restraint and stuff. Like, you see something shiny that's like, wow, I could really use that. And then you buy it and you get home, and not too long afterwards, you're like, I really don't need this. Why did I buy this? Why did I buy this? I think we've all been there. But like, it was consecutive, one after the other, just these random infomercial spots. That's what I'm going to call them. They just kept calling to Jahy, and before she knew it, just all the money out the drain. And the weapon that she was supposed to buy, she didn't really get. I mean, she got like a lightsaber. I mean, really, it was just a stick. Probably not going to do that much damage to Kyoko, but anything's worth a shot, I guess. Like, if you can maybe catch her off guard, be like, hey, look, it's something bad. And then she looks in that direction, and you whack her in the back of the head with a stick. Maybe that would work, but I wouldn't bet on it. But there is one other thing you can do against an opponent besides buy weapons, and that's set up traps. Especially if you know where your opponent's going to be at any given time, you can just set up traps, and eventually she'll walk on by and get stuck in it or get hit by something, right? So really not a terrible idea, especially as it's her home, your enemy would come to you eventually, you would think. The problem is it's like unavoidable by Jahy as well. So in other words, she kind of put herself into a position where she either had to run into her own traps or never leave. And neither of those options were great, especially when your landlord, the person that controls your rent, shows up. Definitely got a little bit worse at that point. Luckily, she stopped her from getting conked in the head, because if she did not prevent that, I imagine it would have been a very different scene. The landlord probably would not have been very happy about that. I'm pretty sure that's the case. So it did lead to a nice little moments of Jahy sacrificing herself for a human, even though it was all her fault to begin with. Like, it was obviously a comical scene, but again, out of context, it might look a little bit like a nice, heartfelt, scene, but it was more comical than anything else. Again, because of the circumstances. But yeah, we really did have no shortage of sort of this episode, because again, she's got that screen time, and she ran into Jahy herself. Although apparently she's just not familiar with Jahy's smaller form, so just some random kid that she tries to help out, and because this is sort of her trying to help out just makes things worse, and it kind of costs her lunch. But yeah, I think this, again, I don't know if it's intentional, but this definitely was very reminiscent of Satanya in the melon bread, always being taken by that doggy. Like, I had to imagine that was intentional. It was too similar to not be. Like, the food itself wasn't melon bread, but maybe that would have been just too on the nose. But again, it was probably just manga stuff, but I never really know. I let you imagine all of it is intentional Satanya references, but it's probably not. Hopefully, at least some of it is, because when you have that opportunity, you should utilize it, I would say. But yeah, it's just pretty funny. Jahy, her enemy, gives her the encouragement, the encouraging speech to give her what she needs to just keep moving forward, do her best, not give up. There's just so many layers to this, because Jahy obviously is in that kind of a position where life keeps trying to smack her down, but she's like, I won't give up, I'll do my best, one day I'll get my former glory. And Sodway is kind of in a somewhat similar situation, so she's in a good position to give that sort of speech to Sodova. But again, she's her enemy, so she really shouldn't be giving her enemy a speech, but like, I don't know if she's even really much of an enemy from Jahy's perspective. Like, she probably doesn't really see her much as a rival or anything, just someone that's just kind of there, that she sees occasionally, at most, right? She's like not... There's like a asymmetrical, is that the right word for it? Like, they see each other very differently. But anyway, from Sodaba's perspective, she's an enemy, so getting advice from her is probably not the best idea, but it seemed to have done some good for her, so it's all right on that basis, I suppose. It's just a very weird situation there, and also short-lived. She came by to attack Jahy, I guess, but Jahy was a little bit too scary, so she just left. So the courage did not last long, but like you said, maybe next time. There's always next time, right? It doesn't have to be today. There's still some episodes left. There's plenty of episodes left, because this show is like 22 episodes or something, if I remember right. It's definitely more than 12. I remember that for sure. So there's definitely going to be a next time. No need to rush it and make mistakes. Just wait until the time is right, and it'll all be great. So yeah, I'm with Sonoba on that, right? So really good episode. Definitely, I continue to enjoy this show. And I think that's all I have to say on the episode. So if you enjoyed this reaction, I do hope you click the like button and subscribe and support me on Patreon, so I can just keep doing what I'm doing. That would be, I think, beneficial to everyone. So I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, bye-bye.